The house of the Vettii. Situated in the centre of Pompeii is the house of the Vetti brothers. They were wealthy freedmen who brought and restored the house after the earthquake in 62 AD. It's a classic example of a property owned by the middle class, as opposed to the aristocracy of Pompeii. At the entrance, you can see there are no shops outside, which shows the brothers themselves do not fund freedmen owning shops and have little commercial interest. Also outside the house is the famous Priapus image, which was a sign of good luck, power, and fertility. The house had 2 atria, and upon entering, either side of the entrance were 2 huge strong boxes, which would have stored all their money. The presence of these in the atrium, with the 2 ala either side decorated with mythical scenes, show that the brothers wished to show off their wealth to anyone walking past. From the entrance, you can see right through to the garden. The house of the Vettii is very unusual in its lack of a tablinum, or study, which would normally have been situated in the centre of the house. This again tells us the brothers' status. Romans from wealthy families would have been expected to be patrons to many people in the city who would visit their tablinum regularly for money and advice. The lack of a tablinum is because the brothers were ex-slaves, and so would not have been expected to become patrons. In the centre of the atrium there is a large impluvium to collect rainwater, and above is the compluvium, through which water fell. In the Vettii compluvium, water ran through intricate animal-shaped spouts, as seen in the picture. Immediately to the left of the entrance is a small room which has a frieze of marine creatures, such as lobsters and mullets. Below this is a painting depicting the awakening of Ariadne and Leander crossing the Hellespont. The garden itself has been restored with the peristyle. Using Fiorelli's process and the empty holes left by roots, archaeologists have been able to replant the same plants. Water would have been supplied to the fountain through lead pipes. The fountain itself is a bronze statue of a Cupid holding a goose in his arms. A jet of water would have come from the goose's mouth, supplied by the water from the aqueduct. Overlooking the garden was the reception room. This was decorated with a multitude of paintings showing Ariadne abandoned, the punishment of Ixion, and Pasiphae, and her passion with the bull. Room number 8 shows the dining room. The walls of the dining room, or triclinium, were decorated all around with frescoes of cupids. These were cupids preparing flowers, leading a goat, making garlands, and most importantly making wine. It's believed the Vettii brothers made their wealth through wine production, as in the dining room 2 rings were found bearing the emblem of amphorae, or wine jars. In the second, smaller atrium, number 6, the Vettii brothers owned, as was common, a lararium. This is a shrine to the household gods, the Lares, Penates, and the spirit of the house, the Genius. This lararium shows 2 Lares surrounding the Genius, each holding a horn and a bucket. The horns again lead archaeologists to believe that the brothers were wine merchants, as this lararium would be praying for the god of fertility. And below them is a snake. Leading off from this atrium is the kitchen and slaves' quarters. The oven has been well preserved, showing the alcove below where firewood would have been stored. The room is very small and would have got extremely hot. Off from the kitchen, in the depths of the house where only the Vettii brothers would have gone, is a very unique erotic room full of paintings. The bottom left-hand corner of the house housed the stables, or what many archaeologists presume were the stables, as the remains of horses have been found inside them. This is very unusual for a Roman house, and reflects the taste of the individual owners. Finally, another uncommon feature of the house was the stairs, as few buildings had second stories. These were probably used for slaves' quarters.